All right, y'all. Sky Squad, we are back in the building. And of course, we have got to talk about a little basketball wives news and the bad and the bougie. All right. First things first, I felt like this was probably also the worst kept secret. And I felt like it was fairly obvious going in to the reunion and actually probably the latter half of the season that Vanessa Ryder and Brittany Renner would not be returning to Basketball Wives Los Angeles. I mean, what can we say? I mean, this is not surprising. I just happened to catch this on the reality rundown page as I was getting ready to do my review for Bad and Bougie. And I was like, honestly, again, not surprising. I think you could tell by the way that the season was going, even I think halfway through, that Brittany was not going to be back. Brittany never seemed like she really wanted to be there on that show. Once she maybe figured out what it was, I don't know why she came in, allegedly fighting with not Dr. Jackie, with Jackie, but it turned out that maybe she didn't want to fight no more. Okay. So she's out. And we kind of saw that coming. Vanessa, I think we saw that coming as well. She seemed to express a lot of dissatisfaction with the network in general for not really showing as much of her storyline, I think, as she probably would have liked. And it also kind of didn't paint her marriage in the most positive light because it seemed as though her husband, he seemed kind of mad Aggie on camera. Like, just not really supportive. And I just don't know. For me, I just didn't get the sense that that was the portrayal that she was hoping for. So I did not see her coming back when she was not at the reunion. And I felt like Brittany at the reunion was basically a last stand. Like, basically, this is my piece. I'm saying it and I'm getting out. No word yet on whether Cleanna would return or not. I mean, she seemed to be the villain of the season. So I don't know. Who do you guys want to see next season on Basketball Wives? This show is is in an interesting space because it seems like they really can't keep compelling new cast members. And something is going to have to be done, and I don't know what it is, or maybe it's time that the show has kind of like run its course and maybe they need to focus more on Basketball Wives Orlando and some of these newer girls who seem like they're ready to play, like they are ready and willing to get into the mess and the shenanigans of it all, right? So there is that. Next, I want to talk to you guys about WeTV's newest show, Bad and Bougie, produced by Kingdom Reign Entertainment. All right. So the premise of this show seems to be that we are being reintroduced to several of these ladies that we've known prior to. For at least for me, I feel like I've had a pretty good idea of who these ladies are. For many of you, you might not have known Princess uh, Banton Lofters was really instrumental, I think, in really creating what has become the Real Housewives of Atlanta. So I was excited to see more about who she is and learn about her journey. And honestly, she did not disappoint as a reality TV personality. Because she was a creator, I was kind of wondering how she would come across as a personality on the show. But interestingly enough, I think that she actually has what it takes. And I would have been very interested to know why she didn't do Atlanta herself, because she seems to really have the lifestyle. Now, again, Malaysia seems to be the centerpiece because she was the person who was last on a show for the longest. And so I feel like she's more or less the name that everybody has already sort of been familiar with from her days in Basketball Wives. I'm gonna try my hardest to rate this show and give you guys my thoughts and feelings about it before the movers come. I literally have a set amount of time and I need to get packed and get up out of here, pack my own little personal bag and stuff like that. But what I want to say is this. Um Overall, I would have to rate the show and I would give it a solid 8. I think that this show has some great potential. I think it has some great characters. I just think that the drama focused a little bit too much on Monyetta Shaw, who is not a part of the show. And when you see the episode, you will learn that Monyetta hangs over this cast like the ghost of Christmas past. I just feel like where there was ever a show that Monyetta was going to be very integral, it wasn't going to be Real Housewives of Atlanta. It would have been Bold and Bougie because Crystal, who was with Neo after Monyetta, I'm not sure how long after. From what I understand, Crystal and Monyetta did not have any crossover, but I don't really know that story well enough, and I don't feel like it was explained to me well enough to have a real opinion about it yet. So I need to go back into the news archives and review the tapes. Okay. Norman, you know what to do. Get the tapes ready. Okay. Okay. So anyway, yeah, I just feel like so the interesting thing about it is Malaysia comes into the show describing Monyetta as one of her best friends, right? And because that is the case, and then Tamika Foster Raymond, who is Usher's ex, is also allegedly super close to Monyetta, having done the show. I think was it something X's. I can't even remember, to be honest with you. My mind is a blank and a blur right now. I was up till like 1 a.m. working. But with Monyetta being so close to everybody and Crystal, I guess, being the new face and being Neo's most recent ex that we know of anyway, that was public, right? There's this sort of tension that is, I guess, supposed to be brewing because as they are being introduced to her via Gaucher, who seems to be more or less the central figure, more so than Malaysia. Um, I guess I just don't understand where the tension is coming from. Because both Malaysia and Tamika feel the need to assert their loyalty to Monyetta, to Crystal, who seems to be coming into this situation just simply wanting to get to know some new ladies. I did agree with Crystal that, I mean, get to know me for me versus my past or what you guys think may be an issue for someone who is not even here. Okay. Monyetta is not here. Monyetta is not on this show. So it almost feels like we need to rely on past shows and past explanations to really get down to the nitty gritty of what could be some potential drama, right? So let's just get into the what's happening here. Gaucher, who is we learn is married to a woman, and that's just how I say. Don't take nothing from that. That's just me saying that. Gaucher is married. Will we ever meet this woman? Okay, that's really what I want to know. Um, we don't see her. She too hangs over this show like a specter. And here's the thing. I think that Gaucher being as open as she is, I want to see her wife. I want to see her family. we're having a pool party at her house and we're never introduced to her wife. And so I just kind of feel like I get it that her wife doesn't really want to be a part of the spotlight, but I mean, are we going to do this show without ever seeing her or without ever seeing whoever Malaysia's dating? Because Malaysia's dating some man, okay? But she's very coy about who it is. Crystal seems to be dating some man, but we don't ever see him, right? So I'm just kind of like, you know, I respect that a lot of these ladies don't want to reveal or really have much of their private lives be on camera. But for me, when you're doing a show like this, I just kind of feel like the audience is going to want to know. And we have several missing pieces here. I think the person who gives us the most, honestly, was Princess uh Banton Lofters, because she goes in and she's getting some type of fillers in her breast because she has had some issues with her breasts. Like, I don't know what happened some years ago. She's had like 11 surgeries. So she ends up taking Tamika with her. And if there was gonna be a party starter on this show, like a flamethrower on the show, like a potentially self-destructive, maybe not self-destructive, maybe just a drama starter, it's going to be Tamika. Tamika is just literally in her own world and she does not understand, Princess's desire to have this vanity surgery so that she can have, you know, the areoles, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like Princess has been through a lot with her bust area. Like, she's been through a lot. And so why would you even go if you're really not going to be that supportive of her? Actually, why would you go to Gaucher's party if you're really not going to be into the theme and you think that the theme of um Black Aspen or Atlanta and meets Aspen or something like that, if you really don't like, I mean, I don't know. She just felt to me like, why are we doing this? Why are you doing that? And it just kind of comes across as very unsupportive and just like, I'm not really, you girls aren't really giving it to me. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I just got this impression that she just really is like over them. Like, she just seems agitated a lot. Like, ugh, ugh, this Crystal girl. I got to meet her, and I just want to let you know this was also interesting to me. When Malaysia first arrives at Gaucher's party, she is very much on this tip of, I need to let Crystal know that I am friends with Monyetta. Okay. I guess I didn't understand that bit of tension. And then when Tamika then comes in with the same energy, Malaysia's like, well, how dare she do that? Why is it the first sentence out of her mouth? Well, girl, that was the first sentence out of yours. So I'm like, why are you mad at her? She doing exactly what you did. But to be quite frank with you, I felt like Tamika was even more straightforward. Malaysia came in kind of wanting to clear the air with Crystal. And I'm like, why wouldn't you at least try to get to know this woman first? That to me was not like, get to know this woman first before you just start like talking about who she used to date. Like, does Monyetta have a problem with Crystal? That's my question. That's what I need to know. And unfortunately, Monyetta is not on this show for us to ask. So I guess we might have to rely on social media to find that out. But maybe now that they're having this big revamp at Real Housewives of Atlanta, we can get Monyetta for season 2. Um, I think that the person who probably brought the most, I think, in the way of their actual story, I think, was Princess. I did appreciate hearing about why, you know, Malaysia left Basketball Wives. In my opinion, the drama starter is probably going to be Tamika. The person whose buttons get pushed the most is probably going to be Crystal's. Um, and Gaucher seems like the centerpiece here to me. She seems like the most neutral person. She seems like the person that is able to rally the girls, but this is only episode 1, right? So I'm interested to see where this goes because I think we have an interesting mix of personalities. And I do like that the ladies, that if that is the driving force behind this show, it is that you have a cast full of dynamic personalities, which interestingly enough has been something that Real Housewives of Atlanta has had trouble being able to really add, right? Those personalities that are going to pop so much that you just know there's going to be some combustible drama just because Tamika seems agitated, just because Crystal seems like a wild card who ain't really. I mean, I felt like they're gonna keep trying to push her, and she gon' you know snap. Okay, um, I don't know. We'll just have to see how things go. I think that this is going to be a very interesting show, and I'm going to keep watching because not only do I want to support another show by another Black creator featuring another Black cast, likely hiring Black people to work behind in the production, and I want to be supportive of what we got going on in our community, but I also feel like it's an intriguing watch. So let me know what you guys think about excuse me, bad and bougie, bold and bougie. And I got to get the packing, y'all. I got so much going on right now. I gotta get this thing going. Also, cool enough, Kempire will be in town tonight in DC doing a live show. So I'm gonna go out and support. All right. So with that being said, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell button. Congrats to the ladies of Bold and Bougie. Basketball wives, I don't know what y'all gonna do. Catch you guys in the next video.